Hey everybody, welcome to the Easy Allies Q&A for November. We've got a lot of questions to get through. I hope you guys are doing okay. I hope your Thanksgiving weekend was good. Everybody watching this live and on YouTube. Our first question, as always, I admire the tenacity, is from Alexander Ziranov. He says, "Greeting allies. Before asking my questions, let me tell you a short story. Some time ago, I visited a maze of fear with my friend. It was a really good maze with a lot of different scares, like self-moving curtains, feet grabs in the darkness, and a freak with a working chainsaw jumping out of a literal bloodbath. Also, there were rooms where nothing happened, so I never knew what to expect, yet I left this maze unimpressed. It wasn't a problem with the maze. My friend was very scared by the end, and it's not because this kind of stuff has no effect on me, since similar scenes in movies and video games can easily send my heart racing. I was thinking about this for a while and decided that scares had no effect on me because they happened in real life. In movies and video games, there's always a chance that the character will die. But in real life, safety comes first, so nothing bad can really happen to you. So here's my question. Is there some activity, event, object, behavior, etc. that impresses you in video games or other media way more than in real life?"
Like driving. When you think about driving being fun in a game, you like all the driving you have to do every day, and then you go home and drive some more in a game. It's like, It's kind of silly. I'll be like on the freeway and like GTA, like, yeah. Or it's like, I would be completely bored out of my mind in real life.
The opposite can be true too, though, because of how roads are designed in the games. You know, like you could be going 55 down a small road in real life, and that'd be terrifying. Yeah. In a video game, it feels like you're not moving.
Like running a red light, you know, you wouldn't bat an eye in a game, and it's like in real life, that'd be.
Yeah.
Killing people? Is that
should have been known.
Love killing people in video games. Would never do that in real life.
Okay.
Killing
I didn't even think about killing people.
Michael Huber, 2018.
Yeah, I was actually just thinking about like the detail stuff, like Shenmue. You know, it's like opening kitchen drawers and like, look, there's a bunch of spoons in here.
Whoa! Get out.
I feel like I care more about the places I construct in video games than I do in real life. Like, just because you can go crazy with decorations and stuff. And so if there's player housing or a base or something, and I don't always get into it, but when I do get into it, I care more about that than like decorating my apartment, I guess.
Well, you don't have to lift anything.
Right.
So that helps.
Yeah, I think that's a big part of it.
I think about Builders 2 a lot, Ben. It's coming next year.
The demo is early next month.
Just in Japan, though, right?
Oh yeah, but don't let that stop you.
Oh no, I remember you playing Builders the demo in Japanese.
Yeah,
gotta do it.
We'll get you an account set up, Brandon. Get that happen. Maxed out demo, Brandon Jones.
That's a good day, Brandon getting a Japanese.
Well, that first demo, you could just go nuts. You could just keep. You could do more story progress, but like if you wanted to build a skyscraper, like have fun.
Anything else that people feel like they like more in video games or other things rather than real life?
Snowboarding.
Ooh, that's a good one. I agree with that.
Yeah, skateboarding, dude. Tony Hawk.
I'm sure there's a bunch of stuff that will come to mind. All right.
With player housing, though.
Like anything like farming.
Farming for sure. Farming for sure. Yes, absolutely, Brad. It's a great one. Yeah. Yeah. Good call. Michael asks, "Hello, Easy Allies. Any hype for the HD remaster of Grandia 1 and 2 for Nintendo Switch? Also coming out on PC."
Yes, I would like to play them.
Yeah, I haven't played Grandia 2 in forever, and really liked it when I played it as a kid. I've never played Grandia 1, so this would be a good. It's like fitting that nice remaster thing where it's like, oh yeah, that good second chance.
I know a lot of whole series. I have a soundtrack from either 2 or 3. I think it's 3. But yeah, other than that, that's the limit of my experience.
a lot of retro stuff works on Switch, but I think that genre in particular is just like really, really good.
Yep.
Absolutely. Have any of you done like a long JRPG on a plane ride yet on Switch?
No.
Octopath I've done while traveling a lot.
Okay.
Cool. I played Dino Crisis on a plane recently. That was the last thing I played on my
How did
PSP.
Dino
on
Crisis.
PSP?
PS Vita, Vita.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
PSP out,
pretty
man.
awesome.
Vita, sorry.
For a second, Huber, I thought like you brought a PS1 and you had like this little TV and just like Dino Crisis.
Well, yeah, at first I thought he had like somehow hacked his Switch. I'm like, that's not a very Huber thing to do.
Dino Crisis on a plane sounds like a Blu-ray that Huber owns.
Sounds like a Blu-ray that Huber made.
Yeah.
Snake Pass on a plane.
Our next question comes in from Robert. This is a contentious one. Right here and right now, as a collective, which one of these games? Oh, so we can't do this individually. We have to come to an agreement.
Okay.
Would you say is the best game? Civilization 5, Mass Effect 2, Red Dead Redemption, StarCraft 2, Wings of Liberty, Super Mario Galaxy 2.
Galaxy
What
2.
What a pool of games.
Over Mass
I'm
Effect?
gonna go Galaxy 2 also.
Ooh.
Yeah, let's do
Played a lot of
Galaxy.
these. Ooh, all right.
There's a bunch of these that I could see.
Damiani's not here, but you know how he'd vote.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
My favorite of these is probably Red Dead Redemption, but I like Mass Effect 2 a whole lot too. I mean, I like all of these games. But
Yeah, they're all great.
if the group thinks Super Mario Galaxy 2, I can't really fight against it. Like Mario Galaxy 2 is a hell of a game.
Yeah. All right, StarCraft 2 wins.
All right, StarCraft 2 wins.
Fun fact: that's basically how the Game of the Year debate went for the first Galaxy.
Oh, really?
Oh, really?
It
That's
was
funny.
it was basically everyone just said Galaxy. There was like no argument for that.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it's fun. It was funny reading like the comments in our Game of the Year discussion, and they're like, "Oh man, I wanted more debate. I wanted it to be more contentious." And I understand that feeling, but sometimes it's just like super not that. Sometimes we just either like collectively agree to move on, or just all unanimously decide on something.
I mean,
I think
Sometimes it's very boring.
that's the conflict of doing deliberations live. Is like a lot of people want to see it, and then when they see it, they want to critique it, and it's like it is what it is. Like we can't rehearse it, we can't write it, we can't predict it. Like it could be really dumb. It could be really boring. It's like watching sports, except instead of playing at all, everyone just decides who wins. You know, it's like not fun to watch.
Right.
But potentially could be.
Galaxy would be okay without the motion controls, right? They could port that on Switch.
I mean, Switch has motion controls, so they could do it.
All right.
I think I was going to agree. I was like right on board there with you, and then I thought about it for a second. I think the motion controls for Galaxy are more integral than you remember.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Do it with the Joy-Con, probably.
Sure.
I know people have emulated it somehow, though.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, all right. Maybe you're right. Next question comes in from Andreas. This will be particularly relevant to you, Brandon. Well, to all of us, I guess. Now that we've probably all played Red Dead 2 and got to experience its quirks and the way it plays, how do you think the aspects many people criticize will affect the multiplayer? Obviously, controls, mechanics, and fun will need to take center stage, while characters, the story, and the world will take a back seat. Do you think it will have... Excuse me. Do you think it will have long-lasting popularity?
Sure. Because they'll keep supporting that forever. It's like they got tons of money. It's like they're in a epic Fortnite situation where they've made a lot of money and they're ready to spend it to make more money. And so I don't know for like year 2, year 3, but definitely year 1. 2019 will be like that'll be a big year for Red Dead Online. Yeah, I think if people didn't like the controls, I don't see them changing going into online. So I think that will be definitely a deciding factor for a lot of people. Then you got the whole sect of people that are like still, you know, even after GTA 5 expecting some kind of GTA 4 DLC plan with like characters returning, and it's like could be fun, but it's not going to be as robust as people want. So like I think there'll be a lot of initial disappointment. And GTA Online was disappointing at launch. A lot of people were not into it, and you know, I'm not necessarily saying those people are now way into GTA Online, but they got enough people to sustainably stick around and keep playing it. So yeah, that's my hot take. Man, I was thinking about it. I was like having the thought where I'm like, I should focus on the Q&A and not think about online launching in less than 24 hours. And then boom, there's a question about
There it
online.
is.
Like, all right, here we go.
Brandon Unhinged.
I think it's worth noting that even if you don't like it, unless you despise Red Dead Redemption 2, give online a chance because playing with friends is a totally different thing. You know? Like, I just think of games I would play, like not play single player, but I play them multiplayer, you know? Like I think of StarCraft online. Like single player is not a fun thing at all.
Right.
But then playing co-op is like one of my favorite things ever. So I wonder if, you know, haters of Red Dead 2 will like be obsessed with online or something.
Huber, this is not relevant to the question at all. I just wanted to tell you while I had this opportunity, I did the Sean Bean Elusive Target.
Dude.
It was amazing.
Yes.
That's all I wanted to say about that.
Yes. How'd you get him?
Pop.
So you know when he's like examining the like pen and you just slam his head down into it? That's
you
what
did that?
I did
Nice,
that, yeah.
Dude.
And then everybody was mad and I just ran away. And so it ended up being really sloppy, but it was fun. Like it was
Huber's was
kind of
sloppy.
chaotic. Yeah. Brandon, with Red Dead, so I'm always in chapter 4. I made a good amount of progress this weekend. And the more that I play that game and the more that I kind of like understand its ebb and flow, the more that I like it. I wonder if that'll be the case for online, where it'll just take a couple of weeks for people to find the rhythm of it and get into it.
Yeah, totally. It's really interesting that GT Online just launched like a week later, and this like was a month later, and they're specifically calling it a beta. And so I think they're like really trying to put as many like warning signs on it of just like we'll figure this out, and like confident enough that like let's have the focus for more than a month beyond this game that we made, the story that we wrote. That's important to us, and then hopefully when everyone else is through it, or at least mostly through Red Dead, cozy with it. But and I think I'm mostly curious with what activities are going to be available in the game and what you can do solo versus what you can do as a group.
Right.
Because, like, I think if you're solo in GTA Online, it's just kind of chaos. Like, you're in a city, and so you're just like any other dude wandering around. Whereas, like, there's a marked difference between the wilderness of Red Dead and the population of Red Dead. Like, Saint Denis can be a bloodbath just constantly. But, like, being up in the mountains, like, that's the kind of one-on-one stuff that I would love to, just be out in the woods, like, in the bushes, like, be in a gunfight and have some dude get taken out by a cougar. Like, I think that sounds really fun. The mountain man, like, portion of Red Dead Online. I'm curious to see how that develops. Sniper battles in the
I'll
tall
be at the
trees.
bank, Jones.
Yeah.
Which bank?
All of them.
Taking a train though, like, and that's the thing is I'm replaying as a bad guy now, and so I'm looking around and being like, where's the best place to take a train? Like, if you nab it up north, there's just no towns up there, so the train's just going forever, and it's just like actually having like Huber take the front of the train, Brad take the back of the train. Like, I wonder how much dialogue options you'll get if like somebody can distract people or talk to people. Like, think about it.
I'm terrified of a Frankenthug situation, Jones. Just like putting 10 or 20 hours in this
losing
week.
progress.
Yeah, exactly. Oh,
Don't get too attached.
makes me nervous.
Feeling. Next question comes in from Caesar. Hello, allies. Same text as always, just a different system. I want to build a game music library, and I'm counting on your wise input. I'll be using the following months to gather your favorite video game scores as in music tracks, not high scores, from all time. Since we're dealing with over 30 years of gaming history, we'll be focusing on a different console each month. But don't just think exclusives. Multi-platform games count. Also, this is not a debate. We don't want to narrow it down, just want to expand. As mentioned, all of them be risky, be wild. This month, the PS1. What are your favorite soundtracks of that system? He also says whoever brings up Symphony of the Night first gets a werehog.
That was the first game I thought of.
All right, give Brandon the werehog.
There's no way I can prove it, but yeah, that was. Wow.
I believe you, Brandon.
All 3 Final Fantasies on that system.
Yeah, for
Great
sure.
music.
Chrono Trigger.
Yeah,
The
the Chrono Trigger.
Well, Chrono Cross, dude.
Chrono Cross,
yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
even better.
MGS.
MGS. Good
Rap
one.
the Rapper.
Oh yeah.
Parappa
The first word Kyle says.
Put the Crash games on there.
Okay.
I feel like it's, I don't know, when I think of that music, that theme comes to mind.
Jet Moto. I like that one, Kyle.
Yeah.
Moto.
I wouldn't
Jet
listen
Moto,
to it, but okay.
I don't know why, but some of the PlayStation discs you could put in a CD player and like listen to like CDs.
Yeah.
And Jet Moto is one of them. And Twisted Metal had some fun music too. But those are Twisted Metal and Jet Moto. I remember like putting on, and there's one Jet Moto track that's like super epic.
Really, just put like the overwhelming majority of SquareSoft's output on there.
Yeah.
Any game they made, just buy
Why
it.
not?
How about some Tony Hawk games?
Mm-hmm.
Can you even buy
Tony
that?
Hawk 1 for sure. Tony Hawk 2 as well.
but-
Yeah, it's like it's just
Did Tony Hawk 4 come out on PS1?
no.
3 did.
It was the
I
last
think so.
one.
Here's the thing, though. I don't
No, I
think
think
Caesar's.
three did.
I don't think Caesar's buying all this music.
No, yeah.
If like for every month we've done this, like Caesar had to buy this music, he'd be out thousands.
He's ready. He's ready to spend
Maybe
money.
this is his dream.
Okay.
He saved
Yeah,
up for this
Tony Hawk
moment.
3 came out on.
PS1 also.
Yeah.
Damiani's not here, so we got to bring up Spyro. There's a lot of disagreement about Damiani's Spyro.
Little
comments, but I
jabberoonie.
looked at that with just the
I like-
the music.
I like the Resident Evil music a lot.
Yeah, sure.
It's not like the best ever, but I really like it.
Do the DDR games count? I think there might have just been
As much
one
as
on
Tony
PS1.
Hawk, I guess.
Okay.
Mhm.
Silent Hill.
Yes, Silent Hill 2.
Yeah.
Oh, and that's
Silent-
yeah.
No, just one. It would just be one.
Yeah, just one.
I'm Jimmer Lemmy along the Parappa Rapper lines as well. There's one I'm gonna beat myself up over for sure.
Mhm.
Was Symphony of the Night the only Castlevania on PlayStation? I guess so.
No.
No,
Chronicle.
Castlevania Chronicles. Yep, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Okay.
Yep.
Chronicles.
Hmm. I'm sure we got soundtracks for something else, probably.
Yeah. It's the danger of this game. Any other Capcom stuff on PS1?
It was like what, Mega Man 8?
I guess we could include Street Fighter Alpha 3. That was on PS1.
Sure. Yeah.
Sure.
Ridge Racer Type 4 is a good suggestion. That was from chat. That was from Tierju NG. Thank you. Tekken 2 and 3.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really play Tekken 2, but Tekken 3, yeah, definitely. Cool. All right. I think
Yeah.
that's a good batch.
Some good ones.
We'll move on. In the spirit of It's a Wonderful Life, you have to temporarily blink out one of the allies from existence. Which would you zap out to see what the world would be like without them and how the rest of your lives drastically change in their absence?
Huber. No problem with that.
Bloodworth, to see how rapidly Easy Allies crumbles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Straight up. Later, Blood.
I think that would be
Rip Easy A.
But you take out the Schubert. I'm going to keeping that. The Schubert. Shenmuber. You take out Shenmuber, and that was such a pivotal moment. That just seems to me like one of those. What's Family Man? What's the Nicolas Cage movie?
Yeah, I think it was Family Man.
You take out that moment specifically, and it's like I've always wondered what weird game trailer's timeline that didn't happen. Yu Suzuki bailed at the last moment and just didn't happen. Remake didn't happen.
It'd be fun to see if there's no Jones, just like where we even set up,
Who does VO? Yeah, dude.
where we even exist.
Yeah.
we hire some like unknown agent to do VO. We never meet him. The audience never meets him. Just this voice.
And like we're all at like Keely's house or something.
Yeah.
We just went out of space at Keely's house.
Sleep on a couch.
But he refuses to interact with us. Like,
Yeah,
he
for
lets us
sure.
have
Yeah,
the
yeah.
place.
He's never there.
Strictly
Like, you never,
business.
you're like, does he have another apartment, or does he live? Yeah, you get emails from him. That's about it.
All right. Our next question comes in from 44 stars. They ask, "Hey, allies, hope everything's going well. Maybe it's a bit early for this question, but next year is a list year where every publication will release their top 50 or 100 games of the 2010s. Have any of you already thought about what this list would look like for Easy A? Oh, boy. What is guaranteed to be in the top 10? Oh, boy. What don't you want to see in the top 10? Oh,
Witcher
boy.
3 is
That's such a big
in
discussion.
the top 5.
Yeah,
I don't even know.
Bloodborne is in the top 5.
right.
I think both Knack and Knack 2 take up 2 spots. 2 separate spots.
Yo, we're gonna get a Knack 3. I'm ready for it.
We might.
Game Awards, baby.
That's the PS5 launch title, Mike. Come on.
Yeah.
They delayed PSX for the Knack launch.
Yeah.
The Knack announcement. The Knack debut will be PSX 2019.
I think the hard thing for me with this question is my headspace has been so not only this year but this current generation, so I'd have to really pause and think.
It's in the top 3 then.
Sure, I would happily accept that argument. I'd like to put Divinity Original Sin 2 in there. I might be alone in that, and that may not be like super representative of UZA, but I think that deserves it.
Breath of the Wild sure have to
Breath
be
of
in
the
there.
Wild will be in there, yeah. Totally.
When did Odyssey come out?
Last year?
Not Odyssey. Oh my god. Super Mario Galaxy. Jeez.
Well,
In the
Galaxy was
2010s.
2007.
7, okay.
Wait, I thought it was Galaxy 2 2010? I don't know. My Galaxy timeline is off.
It's been a while.
Any games we wouldn't want to see in the top
Galaxy
10?
1 was 2007.
Dang.
I'm
You
on
think-
this.
You think Tropical Freeze is a shot at the top 10?
No.
Top 10? I don't think so.
10 is intense, dude. 10 for 10 years. That is a tight list.
Oh, Bayonetta 1 doesn't quite make it.
So StarCraft 2 I won't let in.
Wait, it does.
Rock Band 3 can't get in.
Wow.
Sure.
Halo Reach can't get in. God of War 3 can't get in. Street Fighter 4 can't get in.
Bayonetta 1 is January 5th, 2010 in North America.
There's nothing in 2010 I want in on the top 10.
StarCraft 2, though, is in the top, 50.
Sure.
Sure.
Wait,
Yeah.
are we doing top 10 or top 100?
We're doing top 10 for this question,
Okay.
but would
Yeah,
it be
it's not
for
in.
The
top
10 of
50.
10.
Arkham City not in. Portal 2 not in. I moved it to 2011.
All right.
Skyrim
Wait.
not in. Skyward Sword not in.
Wait, what version? Just Skyrim?
Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim.
Regular-
Yep.
Regular Skyrim. Ooh.
Yep.
Ooh.
Mass
Ooh.
Effect 2 not in. Uncharted 3
Ooh.
not in.
I guess this is the 1 minute to go.
Like really, like all those games
Last of Us.
I'm listing off, would any of those get in top 10?
Last of Us is my number 1.
Yeah,
Straight
I think
up.
I think it might get top 10. Last of Us.
Yeah.
Last of
can
Us,
see Last of Us.
Witcher.
I think Bayonetta 1 deserves a top 10 list. But
Do we realistically though? Do we think Mass Effect 2 gets in there?
Dude, I would be open
Having
to
not
it.
played it, I wouldn't be surprised. But
Mass Effect 2.
Mass Effect 2 is my favorite
amazing.
of Mass Effect game by
Yeah.
a wide margin.
Is it
Huge
top
margin.
10? Is it top 10 though?
I got to see the
No idea.
options, man.
Yeah, I gotta see the
That's
options.
what we're doing, yeah.
It's
I got to
debatable.
see the options.
Ben-
2012 kind of sucks.
Would you want Divinity over Mass Effect, though?
I would.
I think I would.
I think I would want Divinity over
Yeah.
Mass Effect. Just for me, but
No, I'm with you, man.
Do you think we'd be cute and put Journey in there?
No.
Hey, I want GTA 5 in top 10. Are we cool with that?
Really? Yeah,
way down.
dude. You do?
I do, yeah.
Dude. Yes. I did not expect that.
Bioshock Infinite, no chance, but
no way.
Yeah, no way.
0 Pokemon games,
I was gonna ask that. Yeah.
0 Tomb Raider games, 0 Assassin's Creed games.
This is why, like, I'm telling you, Allies, that Easy Allies top 100 list, it's coming. It's creeping on you. It's knocking on your door. It's hiding in the shadows, and you
The
know
only Jones, help me out here. The only thing that weirds me out, because like PC Gamer does top 100 games every year. The only thing that freaks me out is like, really, how are we ranking like the 98th game versus the 89th game? Like, what
that's
is?
when it comes down to just ballots. It's
Okay.
really about making sure stuff's considered. Like, we make the list that we're all going to vote on, and then we vote, and then we just do the math. And then once you look at the math, if anyone's like, okay, I have a debate between, like you were saying, like what does 98 versus 96 mean? It's about what this game versus this game. Then we have those debates.
Got
And
it.
Vote on when to swap stuff, and then you're done.
That's
It's like
excellent.
3 big phases, basically.
Cool.
But anyway, sorry.
Phase
Tangent.
3.
It's crazy. I think I think like the last 3 or 4 years of the decade would have most of the games in the top 10.
Makes sense. It's when the gen just gets popping. All the games on that list would be from the end of the 360 PS3 era and the end of this era.
Yeah. But I'm not willing to let any of the end of 360 PS3 era in.
Can we put Last of Us Part 2 on right now?
Yeah.
I think we should just let Kyle do this list by himself.
Yeah, it sounds like Kyle's got it under control.
I got this. I got it. Overwatch is in, but Witcher 3 isn't.
Maybe we shouldn't let Kyle do this. Maybe we shouldn't let Kyle do this.
They just went offline.
Democracy.
It'd be funny, Kyle, if you just like hit the hang up button after that.
Yep. I finished the list. It's good.
Finish the list.
Yeah.
We should, you know what we should do? We should put Dungeons and Dragons as number 1.
Mhm.
I think so, yeah.
Well, I don't know.
Super versatile.
Is 5th edition within the last 10 years?
Yeah.
It is, yeah. It is, yeah.
You're in, bud.
You're in.
Dude, Witcher 3's on the list. I'm sorry.
It's good. It's good that Witcher 3 still is like a big game. You know, it's still haven't been too many games since that game that have matched that output.
You're talking about Red Dead, Jones?
That big.
I think Jones is priming us for his Red Dead case.
Planting seeds right
Yeah,
there.
he's planting the seeds.
Attaching it to the Witcher 3's legacy.
I'm gonna stir up the Witcher 3 like vibe. I get it in your brain, you know, and then I creep in. Like an earworm. Wait a minute, what game are we even talking about anymore? So when Arthur Morgan's riding Roach around, it's like, you're confused, Jones.
Brandon Jones, we got to change your business card to Easy Allies and Red Dead Redemption 2 Cedar.
Red Dead apologist, Esquire.
Huber, our next question, I feel like is particularly targeted for you. You'll be able to give the best insight on this.
Okay.
That's from Varun. He says, I want to discuss one of my favorite flawed games from one of my favorite franchises that breaks my heart. Talking about even though I loved it. Deus Ex Mankind Divided. I think Square Enix wanted this to fail. The pre-order scheme that got so much backlash they had to scrap it, allegedly cutting the game in half to make sequels while stopping the game on a cliffhanger after only one boss. Taking an important mission from the main story, adding it in as bonus content, breach, which no one asked for, and microtransactions. They just kept pushing, seeing how far they could take things. One of those things could harm a game, but all of them is the perfect storm. There's nothing comparable to it for me. That music, aesthetic, the gameplay, I loved everything about it. People have always yearned for great single-player games. That never changed. There's so many examples from this year alone. I think a fully realized Deus Ex could stand out in a saturated market, especially with its unique characteristics. Do you think Square Enix respects this franchise with the way Mankind Divided was treated? Is there a future for Deus Ex? I feel like you could apply this to Hitman too.
Yeah, there's definitely a future. The franchise is not dead. But I share that sentiment of Mankind Divided being a big letdown. It lacked focus because they added all that stuff, the microtransactions. One of the coolest missions was the expansion. Remember that prison one, the prison break?
Oh yeah, I mean that was like almost a complete side story, which actually made it a good DLC, unlike every other Deus Ex DLC.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's weird because some of those things, like the microtransactions thing and the pre-order thing, like neither one of those things have anything to do with the game whatsoever. Mm-hmm. Like they're completely tacked on outside of the game and just created all this noise and controversy that really didn't matter if you ignored it.
Yeah. It's like Assassin's Creed with microtransactions. My main problem with Mankind Divided is just the story and the game itself wasn't as good as Human Revolution for me. That's pretty much it. Mm-hmm. And I remember the ending. Yeah, the ending was abrupt. You finally get this is not spoilers, but you get to a new environment, which is always so exciting in a Deus Ex game. You know, a huge place you get to explore and uncover. You finally get to a new environment, and then it's 30 minutes and the game is over. And you even backtrack. You go to a place in the daytime and then you go to it at nighttime. And it's like, wow. You know, for a huge sequel to a big budget game, I wanted multiple places to explore. like lean in on the strengths of the game, and it didn't do that.
My feeling on this is that Human Revolution overperformed. It did better than I think it was expected to. It launched in August. And so I think it did just about as well as a Deus Ex game could. But the problem is with the way that publishers are structured, the sequel has to do better. It has to be bigger. And so it has to do, 1.5 times what the original did. And so a lot of those things were implemented to make it sell better, to make it a bigger game. And I think the author of that question is right, is that it lost so much in trying to become a bigger game when the first game was so successful because it was so much of just being itself.
Yeah, dude. This makes me sad.
Yeah.
It's not a terrible game, but
I think it's pretty dead, dude. I don't think we'll see like a fully fledged Deus Ex game for a while.
No,
like
I just
5 years,
actually, I just read something about it. They were like, we're working on other things right now, but like Deus Ex will always be our heart and soul or whatever. And like
that sounds like nothing's happening.
That does not sound like a game to me, dude.
It'll be back. It'll be back
in 5 years.
Like it goes away for a while and then comes back reforged. Like I think that is kind of appropriate for the subject.
Human Revolution was so strong, though. It was so strong.
So good.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. To me, I really like Mankind Divided. It was just, I think if anything, it's just a matter of it getting cut short in a way, and I think that probably affected everything in terms of the plot and the environments and all of that. That it was not the full original vision. It was turning that vision into whatever was supposed to be like a trilogy or something.
And yeah, it's kind of a Fantastic Beasts situation where the first one is a prequel in this world you love, but it's removed from it, right? It has enough distance where it can stand on its own, and they tried so hard to start syncing this up with the original. There was like I don't want to get into spoilers, but trying to sync it up with other characters and whatnot. So I thought it stopped being itself, and it was trying too hard to connect and like plant the seeds.
It limits the scope.
Yeah. Yep.
It's like we can't go anywhere else other than this because we're stuck.
Yeah.
It's a bummer.
Yeah.
Cool. Can Easy Allies personally fund Hitman 3?
Sure.
Can we Thanks.
Hitman 2, dude. Don't skip it.
Don't skip Hitman 2.
So wait, you did the elusive target. Does that mean you did mission 5 and 6?
I did the neighborhood mission. I have one more mission left. The neighborhood mission.
What do you think?
Hubert.
Yes.
It couldn't have been better. It was as good as it could have been. It's my favorite mission in the game that I've done so far.
Yeah, dude.
I did it to the Ark Society. So
yeah, dude.
Yeah, one more mission.
Sick.
Yeah, man. All right. Anyway, Mike Cook asks, "Hi Allies. I recently watched Kyle's 2-part playthrough of Beastly. I know what made me wait so long. After watching Kyle's amazing journey, I started going down a deep obsession. I watched the film, and oh man, this is the greatest bad movie I've ever seen. I then spent most of my Saturday watching deep dive reviews and researching more and more about its weird production. If anyone is familiar with Jenny Nicholson on YouTube, she had the best breakdown of both the film and video game. She gets what made this film so perfectly enjoyable. Allies, be honest. Are there any bad properties, movies, games, books, TV, erotic fanfics that you got into despite its low quality because it was just too compelling?"
Something on the level of Beastly.
So it's out of print, but back when my parents lived in upstate New York, they moved, by the way. I have no connections left to upstate New York. I'd go home to my small town, and the newspaper that was published on the final page had this like young adult fiction about teenagers with powers. That's like more like fantasy oriented. And this person would just go off. They had their own page on the back of the little county newspaper where they could just talk about these teenagers with powers. And it is so good. It's like bad, right? But it's like a 16-year-old just going off. Just like for some reason, they're allowed to write about these ice powers, like these kids who can just like, they're running from warlocks. And it's just like, why did you get to do this? And so I went online and I looked up like how many chapters are there? And there's like 14 chapters. And like I've always wanted to like read them out loud on a stream or like animate them or expose them in some way. But I thought that'd be unfair to the author because obviously it's kind of tongue in cheek. Obviously, like I don't love it for the quality of the writing. And so I didn't want to like expose the person in that manner. So it's just this weird thing that I like enjoy on my own and like can't talk about. It's tough.
Keeping it bottled up.
Right, because I feel like it'd become impure too, you know? It's like it's not, you can't do it. You can't ruin that thing.
Tommy Wiseau's The Room has been an emotional roller coaster for me. That whole process has gone through so many different phases of discovering it and then seeing it and then seeing it in a theater and then reading that book and then seeing that film, and it's just like, yeah, that's crazy. It's hard to look away.
Do you watch his other new movies?
Hell no.
Oh.
Because
right,
that's
like
the thing. That's where I'm at now, where it's just like, just screw that guy. You know,
well, that's the thing is
he's just not a nice guy, and it's just like it's tough to celebrate him in a way.
There's no discovery to it anymore. Like I bet those movies are just as bad or worse, right? But there's just like there's not that kind of interesting element to it.
Yeah. Well, Elise has got some good ones, like Snowpiercer and stuff. Like, you know.
Oh, I love Snowpiercer.
Elise gravitate, but yeah, so Snowpiercer is great. See, that's the catch. It's got to be bad. It's got to be Twilight.
When I was a kid, I thought The Neverending Story was the greatest movie. I adored it. I thought it was an amazing world. When I watched it later on in life, it was better. Not the way that I remembered it. I still love it. I still have a fondness for it, but it wasn't quite at the level that I had it in my mind.
It's like me with Face Off. One of my favorite movies growing up. We watched it a few years ago, and it is horrible.
Yeah, when I walked out of theaters, I thought that's still one of his better films. You know, like there's some like legit good acting in that movie. It's just overall, especially at the end with the boat chase. You're like, just stop it, like enough. I've never seen just two actors carry an action movie for that long. Like, what the hell's going on? That's funny. He-Man is probably the farthest between my original perception of a thing and what it really is.
Oh,
like,
sure.
I watched He-Man again like 5 or 6 years ago, and I was like, no, this is not this show. There's no way. You know, like, no, it's the same show, dude, that you used to watch. Like, legit thought He-Man. Mystery Science Theater 3000 just had a new season called The Gauntlet, and the first episode is Mac and Me, which is also the Paul Rudd gag that he kept bringing to Conan over the years. And when I saw that movie as a kid, I thought it was a legit fine science fiction film. I was like, this is great. So you like watch it, Mystery Science Theater, rip it apart, and you're like, oh yeah, this movie's god awful. But at the time, it's like, no, it's great. Not as good as E.T., obviously, but holds up. Like, no, it's really bad.
Any other bad loves? It can be kind of a tough question because if you love it, it can be hard to perceive it as bad.
There's things like I love Star Wars, but I also hate it. I think so much of it is so dumb.
I agree with
so
you.
much of it is so good that I love.
Yeah. Yep.
I really enjoyed Jupiter Ascending.
Yeah.
It's like the third time you brought it up this week.
You know, unhealthily loved it, dude. Kyle, do you remember coming out of that movie? The adrenaline rush, dude. We came out just like, yo.
Channing Tatum's a wolf boy. Yeah. Channing Tatum's a wolf boy, man.
I feel the same way about Chappie, Huber.
Yeah, Chappie was super fun.
Oh, Chappie is so bad.
That movie's terrible, but watching it with you guys was.
Yep.
The guy wearing the jersey that he himself is on, like,
Hugh Jackman fan for life after Chappie.
Yep. Can't forget the scene where he invites him to church. Can't forget it, dude.
I just think of him at the desk.
Yeah, the desk.
Angry. That's what I think.
Their supercomputer was like 8 PS4s stacked together.
Yeah. Oh,
it wasn't like 8 PS4s. They really, in the movie, used PlayStation 4s for their supercomputer.
Yeah.
God.
Just stacked on top of each other.
Was it at like an angle? Like, how does that?
Like a server room, basically, but using PS4s instead.
All right. Next question comes in from Ulf. He says, "Hello, allies. Which Wii U games do you think will get and which should get Switch ports next?"
Skyward Sword's rumored, right?
Yeah.
It is.
That's a Wii game.
That's a Wii game,
That's a
Jones.
Wii game, Jones. Hopefully, Wind Waker HD. Just put it on Switch.
Yes, Brad.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey, do you think Mario Maker is not happening? Like, if it was happening, it would have happened by now.
Oh,
Direct.
no, I think it's still coming.
Yeah, give it time.
Okay.
Direct.
I've been given it a lot of time,
Give it time. Like Animal Crossing's
Fair.
not even out, Kyle.
but that's not a port. That's gonna be a brand new
I
game.
know, but give it time, dude.
Well, I don't think Mario Maker will be a straight port
Yeah.
either. I mean, it'd be
That's
easy
by
to
this
call
point,
it.
probably, yeah.
Mario Maker 2, baby.
Okay.
I'd like Tokyo Mirage Sessions to Xenoblade Chronicles X to come.
Ooh.
That would be exciting. But
I mean,
I think it's possible.
I think it's possible for anything that's not intrinsically tied to the gamepad, like Star Fox Zero.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Are there any other Wii U games that we would
I don't know.
want to get Switch
I'm
ports?
gonna look at mine.
I'm ready for a Fatal Frame on Switch. That doesn't
Yeah.
happen, right?
Yes. Brandon, Fatal Frame 5 on Switch would be hype.
They
For any
should,
Fatal
they should
Frame.
like do a collection of all of those Nintendo Fatal Frames because so many of them didn't even come out
Yeah.
here, really.
I think about
on
Fatal Frame.
Switch is such a no-brainer.
Yeah, I think about Fatal Frame 5 though. If they were to bring it over, like that's pretty intrinsically tied to the gamepad too.
You might be able to make it work with Joy-Con motion controls.
Yeah. Oh, Wonderful 101 chat brought up. That's
Yeah.
perfect.
Oh, yeah. Good pick.
Also
Chad.
very gamepad heavy, but
Pikmin 3 wasn't.
no, Pikmin 3 wasn't at all. Man, I really prefer playing Pikmin with a Wii remote, but I guess maybe it could work with Joy.
I did like it with Wii and Nunchuk, yeah.
Yeah, it's so good with Wii and Nunchuk. Yeah, Pikmin 3 is a good call as well. Nintendo Land on here. That's interesting.
That one I don't see. That's a Wii U tech demo.
Yep, I agree.
Oh, Twilight Princess HD. Bring that over also. Bring over all the Zeldas.
Twilight Princess, the classic Wii U game.
And all the
Bring it over.
Mario
Man.
3D World.
Yeah, bring Mario 3D World on
Yeah.
that for sure.
Huh?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Like, this question just makes me realize how irrelevant the Wii U will be in 2 years.
Have we done top 10 ghost houses in Mario?
Yeah, we already did that.
Yep.
Actually, bring over Devil's Third, please. I would buy Devil's Third on Switch. Please do that.
You're tapping into the last question with that one.
Yeah.
Hubert,
No, I want that.
there's like 3 good ones, dude. You can't do a top 10 ghost houses.
Dude, we could find 10.
Not 10 good ones, not 10 like worth putting in a list. You know what I mean? You're like Super Mario World, the 3rd one. In this one, there's another tricky exit. You know what I mean? Like, it'd be so hard to do, dude.
Fair.
Our next question comes in from Michelle. Sup, y'all? I do not fear spoilers and am not presently rolling in the dough, so I do have a lot of careful consideration before buying games. I like to be absolutely sure that any game I purchase will be one that I'll truly enjoy, but there are rare exceptions. Fighting games really aren't my thing, and yet I pre-ordered Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. The reason being, I will purchase and support any game that forces Nintendo to acknowledge Mother 3 publicly. Despite being unable to play most first-person games due to motion sickness, I also pre-ordered Metroid Prime 4 because I know how important Metroid is as a series and how dearly it is loved, and I want to help it succeed. Allies, do you ever buy games you know you won't play very much of? Why or why not?
Final Fantasy 9. When that
Yeah.
came out,
Me too.
I hate how it looks, but like I'll buy Final
Dude,
Fantasy 9 any
Same
day.
thing.
Yeah.
That theme, baby.
Yeah, I feel like I do this all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Remasters a lot. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
downloaded Yakuza Kiwami last week. I probably will not put a ton of time into that game.
Oh,
Like I want to have it just
PlayStation Plus
available.
stuff,
And technically, I bought it because it's on, PS Plus. And last night, I started playing Odyssey last night, and I was like, there was some great sales this weekend, so I got the next tier up, the $75 version for like $53. And when I was going through the store, Doom 2016, $14. I was like,
Dude.
yeah,
Joe.
I don't know how much of Doom I'm gonna play, but like $14. Come on, like
Play
on my
all of
PS4.
it.
Get on my PS4. So those two are staring at me every time I boot up my PS4.
Nice,
now.
Jones.
Yakuza and Doom.
Doom. Dude, don't skip Odyssey. So good.
No, I'm definitely gonna play Odyssey and Hitman. I want to finish 2 before the end of the year. So just
Yeah, I feel like a lot of collections probably fall into that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rare Replay. I bought and I haven't even played it yet.
Yeah. I mean, I reviewed Rare Replay and played a ton of those games and wanted to go back to so many of them and really did very few of those.
I got the SNK 40th anniversary collection because
That thing is hype looking, dude.
Yeah, it is absolutely. That's why I got it. Is I'm like super glad it exists. I don't know when or if I'll ever put any time into it. Yeah, 100% collections.
Oh, buying Metroid Prime 4 for like you get motion sick, but you think it's an important game. I got to question that. I don't know if that's the good call there. Like, obviously anybody can do anything they want with their money, but like, I've never don't feel pressured to like the thing you're supposed to like is the advice that I want to give.
Well, she might like Metroid, but just have a hard time with the first person stuff.
Yeah, so like, don't buy.
I wonder
a
if
game
you
you're
can
gonna
watch
hate,
somebody
you know what I
else
mean?
play it.
Sure, we'll play it.
Yeah.
We will absolutely play it. Yes, we'll play that hard. Next question comes in from Angelo. Hey, allies, it's 2019, and after the success of Detective Pikachu in theaters, the production of all the movies of the first arc of the NCU has been improved. Each of you is responsible for coming up with a basic plot line of each of those movies and how to tie them up together for the conclusion of this arc in a Super Smash Bros. Movie. Please regale us with what you come up with. You can repeat franchises, no problem, but do try to spread it out a little. Crossover with characters and locations from non-Nintendo IPs is a given, but these are expensive to get a hold of, so it should be used sparingly. If you can describe the after-credit scene, you get bonus points. A Xeno movie is obligatory, you cowards.
So I'm positive we did this before. Was it in a Q&A or were we just goofing around? We even did four phases.
Yeah, we've talked about this before.
Yeah, I think we
did do this.
I don't know if we got as far as Smash Brothers though. And the point that I want to bring up about Smash Brothers is that you bring in other franchises. So that to me means that in this universe, consoles exist because it's like a big deal for like Snake to be in it and Bayonetta to be in it. And so like I wonder how you justify that. Like, why are just those characters crossing over to Nintendo in the Smash Brothers movie? You know, I don't know. Because as far as like the phases, like what would the Avengers of this be about? Like, why would they all be getting together to fight what?
They got to fight that light monster.
So it would be based on this recent one.
I think in the vein of Detective Pikachu, we get a Zelda movie, and Link just has this gigantic beard that we could never see before.
What do you mean that we could never see before?
Like the textures on all these Pokemon, like all this fur.
Oh.
Just a fuzz, just like
It
fuzz.
never.
But it's like a
never
blonde
show.
fuzz. Yeah, it's a blonde beard. Oh, that's too weird.
Yeah, that's weird, dude. I don't like it.
Blood making it weird.
He's right though. No, I mean, we're bouncing off of Detective Pikachu, just like Iron Man kicked off the MCU, and it was basically the framework for everything that came after it, tone and humor and everything. Like, we got to base it all off Detective Pikachu this time.
I think the kind of approach that Detective Pikachu is making, where maybe you have them be a little bit grodier, could totally work for Pikmin. Like, I think the monsters in Pikmin, you could maybe adopt that style to, and it would work extremely well.
Pikmin also like takes place like post-apocalyptic Earth, which is really interesting.
Yeah.
And so like there's an easy tie-in there for our post-credit sequence. where I don't know, they just get stepped on by Ness or something.
Them getting stepped on by Ness.
Dude, I
Oh,
want
boy.
Donkey Kong to come in, man.
Yeah, an Earthbound
Like
movie.
have
along those
a
lines.
Pokemon or trainer like out in the wild looking for Pokemon, and DK shows up.
That's post credits, dude.
And he's like checking his Pokedex because he's never seen it before.
Mhm.
And it ends with Donkey Kong smashing him, and that's it.
Yeah, that kid gets smashed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Can you-
so like Pokemon, or sorry, the movie that's tying into is like Donkey Kong wins the Pokemon Championship by himself.
Yeah. Yeah.
This really cool movie about like Donkey Kong, like it starts off with the beginning of the tournament and ends at the end of just like, so it's just like the raid, it's just like Battle Royale, it's just Donkey Kong in the tournament winning and winning and winning.
Is Machamp the final boss?
And Donkey Kong is just punching these Pokemon?
Donkey Kong v
Yes.
Machamp.
Machamp's on the poster, dude, but like in terms of like Pokemon power levels, Machamp isn't that high. Like Ash had to fight a Darkrai in one of those tournaments, you know what I mean? So like it's got to be like a legendary Pokemon that Donkey Kong beats up.
Got it.
Will there be a Birdo Netflix series?
There would
Yes.
be a,
Birdo's
The
like
answer is
Hulu.
yes.
Yeah, Birdo's a Netflix tier.
there would be a Birdo Crackle series.
Birdo's on Amazon Prime. Or on Netflix.
I'm excited to write it though. I'm ready for that Birdo movie series. I mean,
Does crack.
I would love for you to write a Birdo series.
at the end of the movie, Donkey Kong evolves, so he like somehow like gets the like he just gets some abilities from Pokemon through fighting them, like Goku style, and so he does actually evolve, and he grows 2 arms.
No, it's purely
Yeah.
mind. He just learns from combat. He becomes like a tactician. But he's entering the tournament to raise money to like help Cranky Kong with medical bills or something like that.
Brad,
Like, he needs a
when has
motivation.
that ever been DK's motivation? It's always bananas.
When has he ever fought Pokemon? Like, this is a new Donkey Kong, dude. We got to make it like
True.
they got to give the audience something to latch onto besides bananas. It's got to save his dying
Was it-
dad.
Was it 3 that had those weird banana birds?
What?
I don't know, dude.
Yeah.
Donkey
I remember
Kong
there
3,
being
you mean?
like bizarre banana birds in one of the Donkey Kong Country games.
Oh yeah, look at these things.
It's canon.
Country 3, well done, Blood. That's a really weird creature. Are they good or bad?
I don't know. I don't remember. I just remember being weirded out by them in magazine pages.
They actually came back in Donkey Konga. This is their
Oh,
most
yeah.
recent ooh, wait. Okay, yeah, they're just in Donkey Konga. That's it. And there's a banana bird queen. She's gorgeous. Queen banana bird.
She's gorgeous.
Dude, these are hideous. This is very disturbing. I don't like any of this. Don't look that up.
I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed with banana
They're
birds.
so gross looking, dude. Like, they shouldn't exist. It ain't right.
I feel like with banana birds, we've taken this as far as we can.
Yeah.
Banana birds.
Can we put like an image up on Google Hangouts? Can that work?
Yeah. I have
Can you?
Banana bird now.
Not that I
you
know.
Because
But
this
maybe
one
yes.
this one screenshot looks like a Final Fantasy boss. I can't do it.
I
Okay.
Can you
think.
share the link
feel
with
like-
us?
Yeah, I think Ian's done something like that and might have to share your whole screen or something.
Oh yeah, you can screen share. There's a screen share, Kyle, on the left.
Q&A, by the way.
Q&A.
Oh, Lincoln Rooney?
There's a link somehow.
Oh, I saw this, Colin. I knew exactly what you're talking about.
Doesn't that look like a Final Fantasy boss fight with a
that's
Queen
like
Banana Bird?
Sephiroth at the end of 7.
Yep.
The clouds. If it's like that, Kyle, then I'm in.
Okay.
But not just like the first shot of it. First banana bird you see, like just the pathetic one.
Ra-pa-pa-pa-pa-pa-pa-pam. All right. Our next question comes in from Matt. He says, "What's up, allies? Smash comes out in less than 2 weeks. Which characters are speaking to you as a potential main, and who are you going to bring as your fighter to the intramural tournament?" Wants to know our strats.
I'm
Too many
keeping a lot of
cards.
mine close to the vest. I'm keeping them a lot of the secret. But I do know because of how the Easy Allies have reacted to her that I will be putting time into Daisy.
To rub salt in the wound.
Yes, I'm going to
Okay.
be Daisy, and she's going to be the best Smash character.
Yeah, you gotta be.
So if you get knocked out immediately, what will your response be?
I'm going to have to drop Daisy. I'll blame Daisy. I will never
Okay.
blame myself. for
blame
my
the tier
performance.
list. Dude.
So it's a win-win. If you
Yeah.
win, you get to rub it in. If you lose, you blame Daisy.
Mhm.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Well, Jones is gonna be Simon.
Yeah, and Yoshi, obviously.
Yeah.
Jones as Yoshi's pretty damn good.
Yeah, I want to try out Inkling and see how that plays.
Mm.
Blood's out of the tournament already. Inkling is low tier blood.
Bowser, obviously, and Incineroar.
Yeah, Incineroar is really
Yeah.
fun, dude.
Mhm.
I'm thinking about maining Lucina at the moment. I'm obviously going to play a lot of Richter and Simon too. But
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
I
I can't
also really
pick.
like Ike a lot. What's up, Brad?
Said I can't pick. I like too many of the characters. I'll just be like flex roll and just switch around a lot probably.
Yeah, random.
Brett, I got to be honest. I like when you play Ganondorf, man.
I love Ganondorf though too.
Yeah, I do too.
I love Cloud. I love Link.
He feels different in Ultimate,
I love
man.
the Belmonts.
He feels
He's
a
got
lot
a good
different.
look in Ultimate too. Ganondorf.
Yeah, it looks sick.
Yep.
Gotta get my man Donkey Kong in there too, dude.
Yeah, I love DK, dude. Just-
Nothing better
DK
than
is
that
fun.
punch. So good. So fun.
Yeah. Who is Damiani going to pick? Can we just guess who Damiani's going to play as?
Kirby, dude.
He's played
Uh,
Samus a lot before.
Samus came to mind, Ben, when I think of Damiani.
I think Samus or Ike is what I used to see him play the most.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. Next question comes in from Simon. Hey, Alaz, I was curious to know if you could remember what was the very first piece of Game Trailer's original media you watched. Did it immediately get you interested in the site? For myself, this was the GT review of Prince of Persia's The Two Thrones back in 2005. Ever since then, I always went to Game Trailers to check out the reviews, and from there, I became interested in everything else on the site. P.S. The review was too harsh. That game is awesome and deserves better than an 8.5.
8.5 is a good score.
Such
Yeah.
a good score.
Yeah,
That's a
so
great
good.
score, in fact.
What's weird is they mentioned that Prince of Persia game, and I'm pretty sure the first review I did for GT was the Wii port of that. It was gave it a different name.
Definitely watch the retrospectives for Final Fantasy and Legend of Zelda, and I have distinct memories of those.
Yeah,
I used to watch Pack Attack every week.
same.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy Retro is the first. I might have watched something before that, but I remember the Final Fantasy Retro, and ever since the Final Fantasy Retro, it was like, yep. And I went to
Yeah.
Game Trailers like every day
Same.
after that.
Yeah, it was funny because I came into game trailers not knowing anything about it. I was just looking for work. So yeah, whatever I first watched was just to kind of see what they did. But we were also so focused on aggregation back then too that a lot of it was just about getting the hot trailers.
Yeah, I don't remember. Probably some like HD trailer. That was cool. It's cool back in the day.
Yeah. It's like the only place I knew you could get HD trailers, really.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, the Battle of the Bands review was somebody's first vid in chat. I remember that game being so bad.
I don't. Did they have? Was this a Konami game?
Maybe.
I remember like a bad Konami Guitar Hero Rock Band spinoff. I don't know.
Pretty sure it's a Wii game.
Next question comes in from Trung. He says, "Hi, allies. What game/games is or on your backlog that came out this year that you want to play or finish, but know you won't get around to by the end of the year?" I actually have a list on my computer.
Wow.
Red Dead Redemption 2, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Yakuza Kiwami 2, Yakuza 6, Yakuza 5, Ni no Kuni 2, Guacamelee 2, Darksiders 3, Forza Horizon 4, Pillars of Eternity 2, Valkyria Chronicles 4, Moonlighter, and maybe Battle for Azeroth.
You don't think you'll finish any of those?
No, I know I'll finish some of them. I don't know if I'll be able to finish all of them.
It'd be
but I won't
impossible,
be-
yeah.
I wouldn't be able to get to them to the end of the year.
Yeah.
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 Well, in some of those games, yeah, I mean, like Forza is like, what does finishing mean?
Right. I just want to play more Forza. I think is what that is.
Mm-hmm.
Red Dead Redemption 2 I'd like to finish this week.
Oh, a good one that is tough for me. Octopath.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's a long ass game. Yeah.
Chipping away on Dragon Quest XI.
Nice.
Yeah,
will you
thing, like
finish?
I will easily get through Dragon Quest before I finish Octopath.
Yeah.
Even though I haven't started it yet.
I think Dragon Quest is better than Octopath, and will be more relevant in our Game of the Year.
Yeah.
So for me, like, Tomb Raider is sitting unfinished, and it's more like ambition. It's like, man, like, when am I gonna finish that game? Like, I'm at a spot where it's like I'm not even curious about what happens next. You know?
Oh,
like,
I mean,
which
that's
is like
most of the game, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean that's a story failing, right?
Kyle,
Yeah.
I played all of that game, and I
Mhm.
wish I would have used that time for one of these other games on the list.
So you're saying I should bail? You're saying
I am working on my way through Tomb Raider right now. Actually, it's just funny.
I don't think Tomb Raider is bad. Like it's not the worst thing I've ever played. I finished it, Kyle, and I didn't really feel a lot. You know, it wasn't an experience that I was super grateful for or anything. It was fine. It was fine.
I've been doing a lot to try to analyze the many reasons that Tomb Raider is just not grabbing me.
Dude, like Blood wrote an essay on a private Slack message about Tomb Raider, some really good stuff. We were talking about it.
Cool.
Anybody else got backlog stuff they want to?
Valkyria Chronicles 4.
Yeah, Valkyria Chronicles 1 for me. Remastered.
That would make me very happy, Huber.
And Assassin's Creed.
Assassin's Creed!
Yeah, Assassin's for me.
And
Gotta finish Astrobot before Goaties, even though it's like
you do.
amazing, but gotta do the last two worlds. That Spider-Man DLC is just waiting on my backlog.
Brandon, if it helps you, you have like the best part of the game left to experience. So, yeah. Our next question comes in from Richard. His post got deleted, and so he messaged us on Patreon, which is great. Thank you, Richard. But yeah, if your post gets deleted or eaten by Patreon and you don't see it when it comes Q&A time, just direct message on Patreon, and I'll try to get you in there. How do you do, allies? First, I'd like to thank Christian Thomas for the reminder to edit my post on Patreon. I've also noticed another Deus Ex post, so I'll edit mine. Cyberpunk 2077 is exactly my kind of game, but the hype level is confusing to me. It strikes me that the majority of people I talk with justify their hype for Cyberpunk 2077 based on the developer and the Witcher series rather than the game, a genre which I think has always been more of a draw with the PC crowd. I personally don't understand why. If this is such an anticipated title that Deus Ex Mankind Divided, for example, didn't sell like crazy, it's the closest thing to Cyberpunk 2077 that is currently available. Are we fans of the genre waiting for our moment in the wings? Compared to high fantasy, post-apocalyptic, or contemporary urban settings, I don't feel that the genre has seen anywhere near its true potential. The audience is loud, but are the masses prepared for Cyberpunk 2077? If this explodes, will the genre see the heights that others have?
What
I'm really good.
Go ahead. You go ahead.
I got a really good direct comparison for this. Is Red Dead Redemption 2. It's all about Rockstar. It's not about the genre. You know what I mean? Western video games are not a popular genre, and it's not going to make Western video games popular. Like sometimes strictly like it is. Like if you just have this faith in the developers and the type of games they make, it's more about them than the actual like genre of the world itself, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, if you look back at the history of the developer, it's like The Witcher 1, which was a borderline terrible game with some good story choices.
Witcher 1's all right. It's not terrible.
Borderline terrible.
It doesn't hold up well, though, man.
Yeah, it's not a game you want to go back and replay. Not for
the
gameplay
combat
in
is
particular.
so bad.
Trash.
Yeah.
All right.
And then, Witcher 2 being a gigantic leap in both graphics and gameplay and story, like everything. And then Witcher 3 going completely open world and being as strongly nailed as it did. It's just one of those things where, if they've improved that much, in just 3 games, how much more could they do with this, with the lessons they learned from doing their first open world game ever and nailing that so hard.
Bloodworth, where's Yorvith?
Yeah, I want to know.
That's probably the card game.
Where is he?
Yeah, I haven't played Thronebreaker at all. There's another one that.
Oh, I found
yeah,
you.
last list.
You found him, Kyle?
Yeah, he's just in like he's over one of those hills that's up in the north.
Dude.
Yeah.
Right,
He's got a little hut over those hills.
No, that's it.
It's one of the
That's
great
other guy.
dots on that.
Yeah.
Like a stranger mission or whatever.
I don't know if a lot of people think about it like, oh, I love this genre, I need this game. Like I like high fantasy, but just because a game is high fantasy doesn't mean that I'm excited for it. I think just Cyberpunk on its own merits has looked really, really good.
Yeah.
Even if you like try as best you can to remove the fact that CD Projekt Red is working on it, I think that game has spoken for itself. It just looks really ambitious and exciting. I don't think for a lot of people it has much to do with necessarily the fact that it is Cyberpunk. You know, when we talk about the masses here, obviously people that do care a lot about that, it'll matter to. But yeah, like anything, I think it's just a case by case basis. I don't think it's this like huge sweeping thing for a lot of people.
For like comparing it to movies, there's like 15 directors where no matter what they do, I'll watch their movie.
Mm-hmm. I'm the same way with directors, yeah.
Yeah, so I feel like, you know, like Kyle mentioned Rockstar, and
right.
You know, I think it just the name, you know, the what they've done recently and the hype around the studio is just super important.
I know I brought this up a lot already, but I feel like this happens many times with games where, like Divinity Original Sin, right? That game just got a lot of buzz because it was doing something different and because it was doing it so well. I didn't have any attachment to the Divinity name before that, or I had to play it because it was an old school CRPG inspired thing. Like it just did well. Mm-hmm. And I didn't have a huge affinity for the studio. I think the same thing happened with Witcher 3. Like I think you could argue that like Witcher 3's reviews and the quality of that game did a lot more for it than like the history of the Witcher series or CD Projekt Red. Not that they hadn't gotten hype. There was a lot of hype around Witcher 2 as well, but I think it was just so good that you couldn't miss it.
Because Witcher 1 was like PC only, so it's weird when a sequel blows up because people feel like out of the loop and they might just skip it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it coming to console is
Yeah.
Because Witcher 2 wasn't immediately on consoles either.
No, it was a long time after. Yeah.
Ported Xbox later.
Witcher 1 was supposed to be on like PS3, but it never happened.
That would have been interesting.
Well, they were going to do a different game, right? It was like Rise of the White Wolf or something.
Yeah, it was a remake.
It's a really complicated story.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next question comes in from Ace Jackson. What is your favorite color? But more than the simplicity of the question, think of the meaning of your color. Why is it your favorite? What does it represent, physical or not? My favorite color is green. To me, it represents the flow of life, nature, and peace. I find comfort in the color of immortal evergreen trees as a sanctuary from anxiety. Cling to your color because there's deeper meaning to it than the eye perceives.
Dodger blue, baby.
Specifically
blue.
Green because it's the color of money.
Oh my gosh.
Brandon, that's perfect. That's so perfect.
So would you have a different favorite color if you grew up in a different country?
Me? Because of baseball?
No, Brandon.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, you would. You'd have a different color if you grew up in a different country for all of us. All of us would have a different answer.
If I was in a different city, I'd probably like a different color, you know?
Yeah. My favorite color is gray.
Kyle is a morally gray anti.
Morally gray. So like gray hoodies are my favorite hoodies. I just love gray.
I love blue. It's so calming to me.
My favorite color is red, and I'm not trying to go against the question. I just couldn't give you a reason.
You just like it.
I just like it. Yeah. There's no deep meaning behind it.
What is your favorite red thing?
My favorite red thing, I really like red cars a lot.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know if I could say that that's my favorite red thing, but it's the first thing that comes to mind.
What's funny is I think purple is what I would say is my favorite color, but then I think about what do I have that's actually purple? Would I wear a purple shirt that often? Like, it's probably not. You know?
There's that purple cape you wear before you start streaming.
Dude, don't say that.
Oh, okay, my bad.
That's secret, dude.
He's just got like a king's cape that he
just wears it, dude, to warm up.
Yeah, what's your favorite purple thing? Blood? You eat grapes?
You eat grapes? Blood. How are those grapes? All right, another choice. I like this one. Raymond asks, clam chowder or chili?
Chili.
Ooh.
Clam chowder. It's so close though. Chili is so good. We got leftover chili in the fridge right now, and
What's interesting about those is they're both like very different experiences.
Yeah.
Based on whether somebody's done it right or done it wrong.
Like, I will take Disneyland clam chowder over any chili, but most chilies over most clam chowders. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, chili overall, but Disneyland's clam chowder is god tier.
Red Bull Huber.
Yeah. God.
I love both a lot, but like a god tier chili is just the best. I'd have to pick it.
Yeah.
Chili like comforts me. Chili can like pick your day up.
Chili's red.
Yeah, there you go.
Red. I feel like I can get a sense of more creativity in chili. With clam chowder, I feel like you either nail it or you haven't nailed it.
Yeah, I agree. All right, our next question comes in from Andrew. He says, hey, allies, this year Red Dead Redemption 2 was finally released, and it seems to be pretty divisive for some. For me, this strikes me as the Blade Runner 2049 of this year, a big AAA blockbuster project that turns out to be very thoughtful and meditative. A thoughtful and meditative art house piece that expands and strengthens the themes from its original property. And as now, Blade Runner 2049 is my favorite movie of all time. Red Dead Redemption 2 has pushed itself just under Last of Us as my favorite game. Would love to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, it took me a while to accept that a lot of people just did not like it. I was just buzzing when I was finished with that game, and I was ready for social media for all these people to show up and be like, oh, I loved it. And I think, I think the main thing that I was actually thinking about doing like a Cup of Jones editorial about this, but like I wish a lot of people that were criticizing Red Dead could get a little deeper, because a lot of people are like, I don't like the combat, period. And it's like, what could they have done? You know, we're like, oh, I don't like the buttons. And it's like, how could they have set them up? You know, like, let's be critical of it. Let's try to figure out what they could have done. And a lot of comments are just like, I just know it's bad. I don't like it. End of story. I'm like, ugh. But
it's such a time of like impatience too, with so many games right now, holiday season. I feel like a lot of people just haven't finished the game, and I think that's important for Red Dead Jones, because it's about like the whole journey.
Huber was crazy booting up Odyssey.
Journey.
And you like are running constantly in Odyssey. You know? Like the character speed, I was like, whoa!
Quest, yeah, totally.
After playing so much Red Dead, that was tricky to adapt. But you have to. It fits, you know, because like I don't want to keep tapping X if I'm running everywhere. Mm-hmm. Interesting to have the horse to spawn, like good old horse spawning.
Well, I agree. I agree. It's meditative. I agree with some aspects. Like the patience aspect is huge of it. One thing I wished when I was playing Red Dead recently is that it was the only game I had for 3 years, because I'd want to play with the radar off. And so when people say, go get yourself a haircut, I'm walking around town looking for where I get a haircut. You know, I think that would have been really cool. But I don't think I would call it nearly as like artistic as Blade Runner. Do you know what I mean? When you make a game that big, you have too many holes. It's too broad to have all of the dialogue be good. Which is kind of how I feel about it. So I like that. I like the comparison in that, just like you're saying, you know, you think people weren't willing to think too much about their blockbuster movie. But also, I think it's not fair in that I don't think it holds up to that expectation. I think if you go into an actual critique of it as a work of art, it won't hold up like Blade Runner would or most movies would, you know?
Sure. It's artisticness is almost in its license, giving you the license to just do whatever you want.
Right.
So there's no way. There's no way to compare what sort of experience you had versus me. And also, it's like the thing is with you and I could talk about Blade Runner and then show up the next day and have a conversation about it. Where it's like, if you haven't beaten it, like I'm just not even going to talk to you about this game.
I'll get there. I promised Huber I'll beat it.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying that to you specifically, Kyle. Just it's like
Gotcha.
it's a tough convo to have.
I have to wonder if Red Dead Redemption 2 is actually like earned the term divisive, because I feel like nothing on the internet is universally praised anymore, and I think the bigger that you get, you're just going to kind of catch a lot more criticism. I would argue, though, that probably most people are enjoying Red Dead Redemption 2, even if they do have criticisms of it, and even strong criticisms. I don't know if I would call it divisive, though. To me, divisive kind of implies more of an even split or more of a pushback than I think Red Dead Redemption has gotten.
I think you compared to GTA 5 though, Ben, and like a lot of people went into GTA 5. One of the common sentiments I heard is like, I just don't care about this story. Like I was doing story missions for like 5 or 6 hours and like, I'm just going to bail on the story, but I'm still going to play the game a lot. And it's really fun. Where I see a lot of people with Red Dead specifically that they were like, I was almost positive I was going to love this game and I don't. And so there's that. I think it's not necessarily the intensity of the divisiveness, but the unexpectedness of it. I think a lot of people were surprised.
I guess just what constitutes a lot of people, I like, for as many people that are speaking up on social media and being like, oh man, this really isn't for me. How many people are playing Red Dead Redemption 2 as their first Rockstar game and loving it? Like, I don't know. I feel like when you really pull it back, I would say a lot more people feel positively about it than don't. Whereas like,
I hope so.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. And it's also just who you follow. Like in my feed,
right, exactly.
In my feed, it's definitely overwhelmingly negative compared to positive. But I think it's also because people that are positive about it are busy playing Red Dead, and they're not really like talking socially. Instead, whereas like the people that stopped are going straight to social media to be like, I stopped playing today, and I want to talk about it. So, yeah. But it's interesting. Divisive is a tough thing to quantify.
Like I think No Man's Sky is a good example of a divisive game.
Yeah.
Where you have both like very aggressive pushback, but then you also, especially as time has gone on, people being like, no, like it's gotten a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
That's probably a much more even 50-50 split.
Yeah. I don't know. It's interesting.
Do you think anime is universally praised?
I think anime is more accepted now than ever. I think just like general knowledge of anime has gone up. I think it is less. I mean, I don't know. It might just be like my own bubble, I guess. You always have to kind of account for that. But I think it is less weird for somebody to just come out and be like, I like anime, or I guess rather to have that be regarded as weird. Like I think if somebody just says I like anime, it's not like, of course you do, or of course you probably watch a show. Like it's not a big deal that you watch My Hero Academia or One Punch Man. I think there's a lot more recognition. I think there's a ton of anime that is way more obscure, but I think the big things are so big. And it's not just like, I feel like in times past, there was maybe a difference between watching like Dragon Ball and watching all of their anime. Like you could just be a Dragon Ball fan or a Naruto fan or a One Piece fan or whatever. But now I feel like even if you like something big, that probably isn't the only thing that you like. Like you're more, because of streaming, because it's easier to just bounce from one thing to the next. I think it's more likely that you have a bigger pool. But that's just a guess. I don't know.
Huber, have you seen Michael B. Jordan talking about Naruto?
I know he's a fan of like.
How great is that, dude?
Dude, the fact that he loves anime is really awesome.
Like one of the biggest movie stars right now. Like like that's. I think it's
talking about it.
Yeah, I think it is bigger than ever. I would agree.
Kim Kardashian was like posting about Darling in the Franxx, so like things are different.
Things are different.
I don't know exactly how they're different, but they're different.
Big wins for anime.
Ben, have you seen all of Lady Gaga's Bayonetta tweets?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah. Epic.
Weird.
I think Lady Gaga is cool. I have nothing to add to that. All right. Dominic asks, allies, you are given the ability to be a commentator for any type of event. Literally anything. What do you want to commentate and why?
WrestleMania, dude, with Brad.
Okay.
That's good. That's good. Huber.
The launch of Star Wars Day at Disneyland, like behind the scenes.
I mean, he said it could be any type of event, right? So I could come up with an event and just commentate that.
Yeah.
I just want to evaluate the cuteness of kittens, real life kittens. That's it.
Puppy bowl, huh?
No, kitten bowl.
I was thinking of like Gundam battles, like real life Gundam battle.
Kyle Bossman.
So I'm gonna commentate those.
That's really sick, Kyle.
Actually, Royal Rumble, Brad, way better.
And WrestleMania?
What's the difference? That sounds like the exact same thing.
No. Royal Rumble, because every time someone's about to come out, it's like an E3 announcement. Who's it gonna be? What's gonna happen? Is someone gonna come out that's like hasn't been seen in a decade?
No,
like,
then
reviving franchises,
then
reviving characters.
But like Sheamus comes out, Huber, and you don't get hyped.
it's like E3, man. You think there's gonna be a big game, and it's like something
good.
Yeah,
like, man. Dude, WrestleMania purely for budget standpoint, dude.
Yeah, true.
Kidding me?
So
Huge.
high budge.
Brandon, did you say what you would commentate?
Yeah, the opening of Galaxy's Edge at Disneyland, the Star Wars land.
Okay.
That would be like they're like
Oh, that didn't make sense
like
to me the first
ABC,
time.
like on ABC, just like here we are, live coverage of Galaxy's Edge, like interviewing celebrities as they walk in and like.
Yeah. So Johns, I was
Some
confused
stupid
because I
Star
thought you were
Wars
talking about the opening of the new movie. So like, what's going on at the park? What is Galaxy's Edge?
Star Wars. There's a whole new Star Wars land, new ride, new. This is gonna be the only place you can, other than Club 33, we can get liquor at the bar. So like they're gonna have like a Star Wars cantina where they'll actually serve alcohol. And there's a like Millennium Falcon escape room type thing. The Falcon's gonna be there. It's gonna be like parked outside, so you can just walk up and like touch the Falcon. And there's another ride that's like very current trilogy focused, where you're like sneaking behind First Order lines. Like the whole set, the line is all a big First Order complex. But I have no idea what the ride's gonna be like.
Is that a world thing or a land thing?
Land thing. World gets it, but later. World gets a hotel though, which is sweet. But yeah, that opens next summer, and it's one of my favorite things as a mega Disneyland nerd is it finally connects Frontierland to Fantasyland, so you'll be able to walk from Frontierland all the way around the corner into. I mean, obviously not for like a months or years after launch, but because it'll be very crowded. But that's always Critter Country's always been a dead end if you walk that way. Now you'll be able to just keep going.
I realized another event I wanted to commentate is a daily cartoonist making comics, like maybe Garfield. So like you're
waiting on the punchline.
You're waiting on the punchline and like critiquing the drawings and like the way that Garfield looks.
I'd like you to commentate Family Circle. I think that could be.
Yes. Anytime there's like the kids. There's a line about where he's walked around. That's like my favorite. Like I'll ask for those every time.
Okay. Yeah, Kyle's Sunday Comics would be good. It'd be a good show. Our next issue. Oh, sorry, Blood. Sorry to cut you off there.
I don't know. Part of me, for some reason, why this came up. I was thinking like stupid people on safari.
That's good.
Or in like you ever see like those videos from like Yellowstone where people are like walking up to bears and things and like, no, you don't. This is not what you do.
Yeah.
This is not how you interact with animals.
Blood, that would be a perfect fit for
That's
you.
a good video.
That is a good video. Blood just shaking his head.
Camera pans over. It's me getting like mauled by a bear.
Yeah, it's that's the twist. It's always Huber the end of every episode. Yeah, that's good. All right, our next one comes in from Hudson. Hey, allies. Do any of you have negative or just plain old lukewarm Kickstarter stories? I haven't backed a lot. I don't think I've ever backed anything that shipped on time. My worst is probably chucking $60 at Star Citizen back in 2013 and 2014. That game is still in alpha. One day, maybe.
I kickstarted Banner Saga 3, and I haven't even started 2 yet.
How is that? That's weird. What does that have to do with?
It's like not a negative effect of the Kickstarter.
He's just saying lukewarm. He's just saying, what are your Kickstarter stories?
Yeah, I just thought because like I donated money to this thing that like, that was so long ago. I haven't.
That you would be more invested in the story.
No, because I want to play it. I just haven't had time. So I thought it was a question of like, what are your Kickstarter regrets? Basically.
Oh, okay.
I haven't had any like, what was that one game where they like took all the money?
Which one?
That one game.
That the like tactical RPG it was.
Oh, Unsung Story?
Yeah. Didn't you do that, Ben?
I did. I threw 20. That's what I was gonna say. I threw $20 in Unsung Story, and that has been a mess for like at least 4 years or something. I don't know. I don't even care at this point. That's just $20 gone.
That's what they were hoping for.
I was never did a Kickstarter. I was this close to Mighty Number 9, but something didn't feel right. I was like, sense. I backed out like last second.
Smart move.
Never regretted it. Yeah.
I haven't done a lot of game Kickstarters. I don't think I've had anything that's like negative or burned me, but I will say that like since I do a lot of crowdfunding things for musicians and usually people that I know in some form or another, it's always a bummer for when I get like a t-shirt or a poster or something like that. And I'm like, okay, this is cool because it's signed, but otherwise, what do I do with this? I just really didn't need all these extra rewards, but they came with some other thing that was on a higher tier or whatever that I was giving to.
All right.
I gave $1 to like 6 stupid zombie games like the day Kickstarter launched. Like just it had been out for a month, and I was just like, sure, that's fun. And I never played any of those games. But I get like an email update every now and then, like, oh yeah.
Will Shenmue 3 actually come out on August 27th?
Oh, next year.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think so.
Oh, sweet.
Next one comes in from DRD7-14. Apparently, Patron ate his question last month, which is a bummer. So we'll get last month's question in here. Have any of you ever heard of and or played Rocket Jersey? The IP ownership has been in limbo for almost 20 years, so I'm curious if any of you have similar jolly memories of the game. I believe it was on PC, only Windows 95 or 98. And yes, we need a spirited successor, remaster, remake, or anything close to the craziness of that game.
Rocket Jersey?
Oh, I'm sorry. No. Not, I've misread that. That's on me. Rocket Jockey, not Rocket Jersey.
Oh, okay. I was Googling it, and it was only, Houston Rockets jerseys.
Yeah, Rocket Jockey.
Okay.
So it's like a horse racing game, but you're on a rocket?
I've never heard of Rocket Jockey. I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
Or is it just a horse racing game?
I think it's more like Quidditch.
It looks cool.
Kind of reminds me of Jet Moto a little.
I mean, they like the game, so.
Yeah, it's just this horse jockey in a rocket. This seems like we should maybe alert Don to this. I don't know.
I'm kind of glad it's dead.
All right. Well, thanks, Kyle.
It sucks so much when something you love just gets trapped up in licenses and nobody knows who has it, or 3 people have it, and there's just nothing that can be done with it. It's so sad.
Wait, they're remaking it.
Yeah, I'm looking at a remake video right now. That was
they're
from earlier this
remaking it.
year.
Is it licensed, or is it just somebody just making it on their own?
I don't know. It's pre-alpha footage.
In February of 2018, a remake of Rocket Jockey using Unreal 4 engine was announced by Burnward, LLC. Development of Rocket Jockey is currently ongoing, no release date. Hey.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, this gives me flat out vibes. there's a lot of like crazy stunts and the jockey getting burnt and knocked around and swung around and.
Mm-hmm.
DRD has a second quickie question, which I think is totally fair considering the question got eaten last month. Superheroes in sports. Why are there no Justice League baseball, basketball, hockey, golf, football games, and why? I love weird sports games.
Yeah, I mean, most superheroes know that they shouldn't expose their powers or use them to unfair advantages, so they're not going to play sports.
But it could be like an X-Men Danger Room situation. Like in Avengers Tower, they could have like a basketball court. That would be all you need.
Yeah,
Play
have
ball.
a game, Fortress of Solitude.
Yeah, Kyle.
I just
Kyle.
like it doesn't seem like a good use of their time.
I'm with Kyle.
All right.
But like to like a more fair answer to the question, like it's sick in NBA Jam when you're going above the rim. You're just jumping with a burning fireball.
Yeah.
Like yeah, I don't want to see Batman playing basketball, but yeah, like supernatural sports are so fun.
Yes.
I mean, in Avengers 2, they're like partying around drinking. You don't
Avengers
think-
2,
you
dude,
don't think sports
that's all
is a better
Whedon,
use of
dude.
their time?
That's so dumb. I hate
Like,
that scene.
Sports is good, man. It teaches teamwork. Like it can contribute to the vibe of the team. Like you're just straight up wrong. You are wrong.
No, you are wrong.
You are wrong.
How's Hawkeye gonna play basketball with the Hulk, dude?
Because he can like bank the shot off the wall. Boom, boom.
Yeah.
We need it. We need more superhero sports games. I love this idea.
X-Men sports.
I appreciate you not backing down from that criticism. Can we do I don't think we've ever done an NFL Blitz group stream, and that would make me really happy.
Yo, Hulk in NFL Blitz though would be OP. How do you stop him? Hulk
You just bank the shot, dude.
You
Same thing. You just bank the shot.
You bank the pass. Like, would Hawkeye be quarterback or receiver? Would he throw to himself?
Hawkeye's quarterback.
Dude, Hawkeye would get his neck snapped.
Yeah.
Hawkeye would get
Then
his
you have
neck
Quicksilver. Quicksilver's OP. He's like flying around everywhere.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's part of the problem is that like they don't have comparable strengths.
Yeah.
Yeah, balancing that would be a nightmare.
Yeah. And so like Captain America has super strength, but like all of his other abilities are like out the window, you know.
He's like the Mario. He's like all around.
Yeah.
Well,
And I do think that Captain America has to be a quarterback actually, just because he has good leadership skills that Hawkeye doesn't have. Hawkeye's like Joe Flacco, basically.
What?
Yeah. He could have just made that name up.
I did. That's not a real guy.
Joe Flacco.
Hubert, I remembered something when you talked about the release date of Shenmue. If No More Heroes comes out first, you have to make design documents for an indie game.
If No More Heroes, the new
Comes
one?
out before Shenmue.
Oh my god.
And I think it's happening, dude. I think it's coming out in January. So you got to design an indie game for us.
Okay.
Hero, dude.
Is an
You're doing
indie
pretty
game?
bad.
Superheroes can be an indie game, right?
Hey, what we just talked about, if you put it on a
Okay.
piece of paper and make
Okay.
some drawings, I'll accept it.
Okay. Sick.
So are you judging it, Kyle? Are you giving it like an evaluation, or does he just have to do it?
He's
I think
greenlighting
just to
it.
do it.
No, let's do like a full-on Shark Tank.
Yes.
Yeah, Shark Tank.
Yes.
You and like Jones and stuff. You guys are the suits.
That's
Huber, you
perfect.
belong on Shark Tank. That sounds great. How do you
That's
deny Huber?
Watch me.
Sell it.
I will show you how.
All right. Next question comes in from Straw Hat Ninja. Greetings, allies. Anime is an important part of my life, but I didn't always understand the difference between anime and cartoons. What was the first anime/scene from an anime that made you realize this wasn't your average Saturday morning cartoon? Naruto was my entry into anime, and the first fight between Kakashi and Zabuza was amazing. There was actual blood in the fight. My mind was blown.
Mine was definitely the Saiyan saga.
Macross, man, when they shot like 1,000 rockets, I was like,
Mhm.
oh, things have changed. The Smurfs ain't doing stuff like this.
Yeah, like showing people die on screen. It's
Yeah,
like,
dude,
oh, that's not a normal cartoon.
Nappa killing every main character single-handedly is like the best.
I feel like Tom on Toonami, the robot, was always like really smug about anime and how good it is, and I think that it was a big influence. I was like, "You're about to watch anime, and it's cool. Here's Goku."
I don't know if there's a single thing that I can point to that is like, oh, I realized that this wasn't just a normal cartoon, but I remember Tenchi Muyo feeling way different.
I remember it was like, ooh,
yes,
that whole every episode, dude.
Yeah, that whole like, why are the ladies obsessed with this kid? Yeah, that was Tenchi Muyo was a trip. I loved it at the time. I haven't watched Tenchi Muyo in forever.
Can't remember a single episode, dude. That was all just fluid.
Yeah. I think I don't remember what the first Tenchi was I watched. It might have been like Tenchi in Tokyo. I don't remember. It's been forever. But yeah.
Yeah, it's weird because I don't feel like people were really even talking about it until I was a teenager, but then like you look back and there's like all these things like Nausicaa and Speed Racer and stuff that they were just kind of localized in their own weird ways and like presented like normal cartoons. And then it wasn't something I got into until like after high school.
Late bloomer.
Yeah.
But a different time.
Yeah. I mean, like just Amanda had somebody at work that was just like letting us borrow VHS tapes of like Evangelion and stuff.
Cool. Next question comes in from Liz. One question and two updates. Update one, after seeing Kyle's fat, sad face on the community showcase regarding my dislike of Pokemon Black, I tried to get into it. I gave it a solid 10 days.
Sorry, did she call it a fat, sad face?
A fat,
sad. No, not a fat. No. No, after seeing Kyle's sad face, not fat.
Okay.
Fat was not in there.
Kyle's
That might have been like some sort of weird slip. Fat was not part.
Stupid Kyle and his stupid fat face.
Fat was not part of the update. Get your clarification.
This question will now be called Kyle's fat sad face.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
That's it.
After seeing Kyle's sad face on the community showcase regarding my dislike of Pokemon Black, I tried to get back into it. I gave it a solid 10 days, and I just could not get in the groove with that game.
Whoa.
So I got Moon for my commute. My husband gifted me a Switch for my birthday, and I've been using this Thanksgiving break to play Civ 6. It's so good. Nice. Play what you want to play. Update 2. Our Girls Do Gaming Club has inspired a few members to organize a tournament with the leading contenders being Mario Kart 8 or Uno. I love my students. That's also very jolly. Question. In chat during a Kyle stream, someone, forgive me for forgetting who, suggested using a census of the Allies' viewership to figure out who is watching what and what kind of shows are most appealing. This sounds like a great idea, and I was wondering if it's something you all would consider implementing as you grow this consortium. Also, selfishly, would you please wish me a belated happy birthday? Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. What's
Happy
a
birthday.
consortium?
Happy birthday.
A consortium to me means like a group or collection, right? Is that consortium?
Let's get Google on it.
Google on it.
Association, typically of several business companies.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I want to do a 2018 census so bad of like the entire Easy Allies audience, Patreon and like YouTube. Like, what do people like? What do they want more of? Things like that.
Mm-hmm.
How old are you?
Right.
How old are you? How much anime do you watch?
Yeah.
Next stream, dude. Next stream. How old are you?
How old are you? You know, like it's stuff that like a business, a true consortium would know about their audience, you know? And we just kind of make whatever we want to make, which works. It works because we're Patreon, but, you know, I'm always curious.
Yeah. There's two things that always bother me with the idea of doing some kind of survey like that. And number one is, how do we do it in a way that ensures any kind of accuracy and relevance to the majority of our audience? And then number 2, how much do I hate ever seeing a freaking survey pop up just because like I went to the store and like, how was your CVS visit today? I'm like, I really, come on, I don't care.
Yeah, I would definitely be into the idea of getting more information. I think that can be extremely helpful, but sometimes it can be misleading. Like tabletop is a good example, and tabletop has always been in this position pretty much since it started, where it is not a popular show by any stretch. And I would say the vast majority of our audience doesn't watch it, but some people only come for tabletop, and the people that do watch tabletop are generally more invested in Easy Allies than others. And we have a whole Patreon tier dedicated to it. And so sometimes it can be like number of people watching a thing. It doesn't always translate into how valuable it is. It certainly can, but not always, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's kind of one of the weird issues with the survey, right? Because it's kind of self-selecting. It's like,
right.
Well, the people who either already like what you're doing or really hate some certain thing that you're doing,
right,
are going to do that. The people that are content, for the most part, are just going to ignore it and say, nah.
But yeah, I like information.
Yeah.
Like it, I'm curious. But yeah, I don't know if it would be like an absolute indicator. All right. Silent Consonant asks, this is kind of an odd question, but lately I've been really missing loading screen minigames. Started thinking about this while playing the Devil May Cry 3 remaster on PS4. I really miss being able to shoot and slash the now loading message. Similarly, Bayonetta's combo practice during the loading and minigames that were playable in Splatoon while waiting for match. Yeah, that was really sweet in Splatoon.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a favorite loading screen pastime? Do you think more games could use loading screen time wasters?
My favorite loading screen message is take your time. Persona 5.
Oh, sure.
Mm-hmm.
That one is stuck with me.
I mean, Fortnite, just being able to run around and shoot at each other. This is fun to like be in a
Yeah.
Instead of like a lobby. Yeah, that does make sense.
Just in general for multiplayer games, I think that's something they should look into.
The MX versus ATV games would have like a little sandbox, just like an arena with jumps and stuff on it while I was loading the main multiplayer session.
Cool.
The cynical side of me says that most people are just on their phones during loading screens anyway, but I agree that it's fun.
Spyro lets you like fly, like control his flight a little bit and breathe fire, kind of like that. Yep. Huber's doing it.
Yep. Yeah, spam that flame, dude. Yeah. Spam it.
I think in Spyro, I just let it be idle. I didn't know that, so that's cool. That's cool information.
Yeah.
Spyro's cool.
Spyro's cool.
It's cool.
I'm on World 3.
And Spyro 1?
Spyro 1, yeah.
I think you and I are in the same spot.
I'm like nervous. There's going to be a difficulty spike.
No difficulty spike.
Chill.
Wasn't there some kind of claim that Okami had on loading screen minigames with the paw prints? Damiani would notice.
Oh, it was like Namco had the trademark for a long time. Not a trademark, excuse me, patent, where no one else could. And then it like went up a few years ago. Now we're
That's a good screen to freeze on, though.
Oh,
yeah, that was like a album cover right there.
Yeah, it was like Pencil Kyle.
His debut album.
I was.
No.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Ignore me.
I wanted to hear what he had to say.
Damn it, me too.
He's muted. He's out. Next question.
Okay.
Loading screens. I can't like think of a lot. Loading mini games. I mean, I really.
The Dragon Ball games had like mini games. I feel like during the loading screens. I don't know.
I think you're right, man. You could do like the combos and stuff in the.
No, I feel like there was like some Nimbus game. I don't know.
Like the Cybermen.
Yeah.
So that was because Bandai Namco they were part of that patent. They were in on it.
In on it.
Our next question comes in from Santiago. Happy holidays, analysts. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Hey, happy holidays.
You'd sit down for dinner and a conversation with any video game character, living or dead. Who would it be? What would you talk about, and what would be on the dinner menu? Thank you for the hours of entertainment and insight you provide all year long. I can't wait to see what great things 2019 has in store for EZA.
Jill Valentine. Because I want to know more. I want to know more about her youth, her father, her criminal background, like OG criminal background. There's not a lot that's been unearthed there, and I would like to, like, give me the whole life story, Jill.
What are you eating?
This is like a Thanksgiving feast. Like, we're settling in. Yeah.
Can I pick Winnie the Pooh from Kingdom Hearts?
Yes.
I want to have dinner with him. Just biscuits and honey. And that's it.
I want to sit down with Lightning.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Call her Claire.
Yep. And we would have a baguette. That's what we would do.
Just a baguette.
And tea.
Great.
Sorry, Brad, I cut you off with the Pooh, the Winnie the Pooh.
Oh, no, that was it.
Okay. Who does Blood want to sit down with?
Geralt.
No, the thing I've been thinking of is ridiculous, and I think it has more to do with the dinner than the conversation.
Oh, my.
Sit down
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
Kirby.
Oh, my God.
I feel like you might get accidentally eaten, right?
Yeah.
Like you're both sitting at the table.
You have to sit on the same side.
That's cute. That's cute.
Come on, Brandon. I know you got one.
Beef stew with Arthur Morgan, or just some apples with Tom Nook. Just pick his brain.
Wow.
You never really get in. He never really talks about himself. You know.
Yeah.
But
Tom Nook is
want
a
to know
great
like what
answer.
other jobs he's had. Just apples.
I want you to eat with Rusty from Rusty's Real Deal Baseball.
Brad didn't have a good answer, and I think
hot
that's
dogs.
because you know what I was thinking about. Like anybody who has a voice actor is gonna be really uncomfortable for me because it's just like, am I actually eating with this game character, or like how do you have that voice actor's voice? And so yeah, like Rusty, like that's great. I'll do it when we're having meatballs. Is that what you said? Yeah.
Or
Perfect.
anything. Doesn't
Hot
matter.
dogs.
No, we're having meatballs.
Meatball subs.
Yep.
Meatballs.
And I think it's gonna be a real sad conversation.
Oh, yeah. He'll be talking about his kids and how he's in debt and stuff.
Yeah. Like it'll end when awkward silence. It'll end when like there's like 40 seconds of silence. Like, okay, bud. All right, I'm gonna go. He's like, yeah, I'm rich, or you know.
Yeah, he'll be like, take care of the check, and he'll just leave you with the bill.
Perfect. Thanks, Brad.
Our next question comes in from Max. I don't know if there are rules about referencing other sites, so feel free to answer me. No, you can reference
Do
this.
not reference other sites. Next question.
No way.
I fell in love with IGN's podcast Beyond back in 2010. The community was still pretty small, and as a sophomore in high school, it always gave me such a rush to get my question answered on the show by my heroes. When those guys quit IGN to start Kind of Funny, I was a patron day one, but the bigger they got, the more I felt disconnected from them and eventually backed out. My question is this: do you guys have a plan or any strong feelings about what will happen to the fan base as you grow? It seems so difficult to maintain the close relationship with fans that EZA is built on, and I feel like we often see a few lucky fans remain in the gold, whereas the middle-tier devotees naturally get less love as a consequence of such a massively expanded audience.
Yeah, that's been a big challenge throughout. Is what do we communicate to what audiences? What audiences are going to be a part of what events, and what kind of lead time do they need to be involved in certain things? And definitely, getting someone, whether it's one of us or someone else that we bring in to specifically be monitoring our community, to manage the community, I think is a big step that is a reaction to growth that like we're not there yet, that like the management that we've done so far has gotten us to this point. But I think if we are to consider a 60, 70, 80K Patreon, like that's got to be a part of it, obviously.
This is a tough question to answer, I feel like. Because on one hand, just me growing up and liking different game people at different times, I do feel like you just kind of naturally fall out of interest with a group, and that's okay. That doesn't necessarily mean, that they're wrong or you're wrong. It's just life that happens. But it's also kind of hard, I think, because, we have like certain opportunities, like we have the Q&A or sending in love and respect or sending an email into Frame Trap. And there are people that like not only are consistently there every time, and maybe they don't get picked, but they're there every time. And so they're asking questions, they're trying to be part of it, they're very active. And so I think just kind of as a natural consequence, because those people are so active and they're putting in so much effort, they will kind of rise to the top, as it were. And I don't really know how you fix that. And to me, it's like those people should be rewarded. They clearly care a lot for consistently being there week after week, month after month, year after year. And I don't know how you really change that, or if you should change that.
There's also just geographically, like Rick and Rogbo is a big Disneyland fan. He and I've gone to Disneyland together a couple times just because we live close to each other, so there's that.
Right.
And I think people outgrow stuff. Like, I'm sure there'll be people that, 5 or 6 years later, they're just like, hey, I'm older and I'm interested in other things. And so I'm curious to, keep up to date with what this group is doing, but I don't necessarily consume their content as much as I used to. That makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, I just like this is a really interesting question, and I get now why you said you don't feel comfortable referencing other sites, is because obviously we can't say that like Kind of Funny lost something, right? It's hard to like acknowledge that, and like honestly, I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know what a first Kind of Funny podcast is different from like a current day Kind of Funny podcast. But I would say that for better or for worse, I don't know. I don't see a rapid expansion of Easy Allies. You know what I mean? It's a very, very gradual one. I don't see the audience becoming huge, partially because we don't chase a huge audience. And just to be triply clear, I'm not trying to pass any judgment on Kind of Funny or the way they act or make their own business decisions. But in terms of being concerned about our audience getting too big and people getting left to the wayside, laid to the wayside. Hebrew phrase. It's not a big concern for me, just in terms of like how Easy Allies operates. I don't imagine it becoming too big. But you said yourself, like you see it happening in our own audience, and so it's hard to deny the things that you're seeing on your own. That the medium Easy Allies fan feels disregarded is interesting to me. And so yeah, I'd want to hear more from you. I'd want to hear more from like what you think we should do. Yeah, but yeah. Sorry, I'm rambling there. I think it's a really interesting question.
Anybody else? Any insights on how we can manage fans over time?
I agree with you guys.
Cool. Next question comes in from Ibrahim. Hey, allies, and the guy who hates leaks. With a new generation on the horizon and a generation about to end, we begin a new cycle of will X game happen or will X game ever come back? This generation, we had so many of those, from DMC to Crash Bandicoot. So here's a list of games from this generation and prior. Do you believe we will see these games come back? And if so, how? Remasters, remakes, sequels. FYI, to keep this list short, I just did PlayStation games. So will we see these games come back? The Order 1886, Siphon Filter, Heavenly Sword, Mag, SOCOM, Resistance, Warhawk, Ape Escape.
All right, so no to most of those, but we went by too fast.
Yeah, no to those.
Yeah, I think we need to do them one at a time.
Order's gone. I think we can all agree on that.
Order's gone, yeah.
I refuse to
acknowledge it.
I refuse
to acknowledge it.
Yeah, we'll carry that torch.
Choice there, Brad. Excellent word choice.
I will carry the Order torch forever. He's not dead.
I think Siphon Filter will come back.
I would be surprised.
Yeah,
that Ape Escape are the only two I'll take from that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Ape
Escape is
back.
A lock.
Yeah, count it.
Yeah,
I don't think.
come back.
I think Mag has a negative chance.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Mag's so gone. Yeah.
Long gone.
I think SOCOM has a chance. I really
I don't
do.
know if it's
I
like a
don't think
different-
it does. Especially after the last one they did.
It's just either
I
got to be
think-
Ghost Recon Wildlands or Rainbow Six Siege, but I just don't see SOCOM like reinventing the genre.
I don't know. I
Yeah.
something tells me SOCOM has a chance. It's so beloved in a way that I don't think some of these other things are.
It was
I don't know.
was Twisted Metal on there?
Twisted Metal's not on there. You can bring it up though.
I think it's got a chance next on PS5.
I hope so.
Yeah, I think so too.
I got no ideas though.
What do you mean?
It's just not a franchise I think about, and I go, "Oh, you know what they should do?"
Well,
I don't know
the
how
one thing that they should do is
I don't know how you
not
make Twisted Metal essential.
tie its aesthetic and attitude towards what was popular in the 90s.
Right.
You know, it's like I think you really have to rethink that from the ground up in terms of like what these characters are going to be like.
Yeah,
You have The Rock starring it.
right. I think so. I think you almost like Disney XD it.
Yeah. Get The Rock in there. Fast and the Furious tie-ins.
Yeah. Like, I guess people can die, right? But, like, I think you got to go softer on it. I don't think you can be like Edgelord with Twisted Metal right
Make
now.
it like Fortnite. Look like Fortnite. That tone.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well, that's over the top, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's do it.
Twisted
think about how
Metal.
it might
Twisted Metal Battle Royale.
I honestly don't think any of those games are going to come back though.
Slightly bent metal.
Dude, Abe
Hold on, though.
Escape is coming.
Twisted Metal Battle Royale could totally work, Jones.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That would have to be a huge map, dude. You're driving around everywhere.
yeah, but
You
That's
just shrink
massive.
Hubert, you just shrink the cars, dude.
Yeah.
Cars are no bigger than a human.
Dude,
Uh,
Micro Machine Battle Royale.
Because you never get
Yeah.
out of them. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to worry about it too much, really, size.
Yeah.
But like also like
but speed's hugely different.
yes. Well, I don't know. They
And
got
in
ATVs.
interiors, you wouldn't do the same types of things. You'd have to have like arcade style pickups rather than
Like guns, right? Like
Yeah.
you get pickups instead of guns. There's interiors, you know, like there'd be a mall blood, there would be a
yeah.
parking garage, there'd be a cemetery. Like you could like,
Movie theater.
yeah, you could do that, man. You could make that game.
They did a movie theater in one of the maps.
Yeah,
In a lot
the
of
newer
Twisted
one.
Metal. That was pretty
Yeah.
cool.
It was really cool.
Yeah, I'm
I
in.
like that map.
Just make a Cars Battle Royale based off the Disney movie. Because they have like structures built for cars already.
Yep.
There's like
Nobody
car
can be
malls.
Mater. Mater's OP.
Yeah, no, he's like a
Mater's
random
Thanos.
spawn on the map. Yeah.
Mater's like Thanos.
Yeah.
All right, Brandon.
I think you're just laughing at your joke.
I'm just kidding. I'm not sure how to answer this next question. Are we ready?
Oh yeah,
Yes.
I'm super ready now.
Hi, allies. Some of us would like to know what your dream quiche filling might be. Thanks. Love and respect.
What?
You still
Quiche
ready?
feeling?
Quiche filling.
Filling.
Feeling.
Oh, my dream quiche filling. Peanut butter. Done.
Sure, peanut butter.
Peanut butter.
Just more cheese. I know you already put cheese in it. More.
The
A different
official
Switch it up.
filling for Easy Allies is peanut butter.
Mm-hmm.
Peanut butter. Can't go wrong with peanut butter.
Yeah.
Feeling.
Peanut butter. Let's do
Broccoli? I don't know.
two more. We're not going to be able to get to all of them, but you guys down with two more questions?
Yep.
Absolutely.
Sure.
All right. Second to last question comes in from Master Pants with a Z. I like it. Hey, can you help me pick what game to focus on next? Oof.
Yes.
I've been trying to settle on a new PS4 game to start, but the choice is intimidating. I've narrowed down my 5 choices.
Okay.
Dragon Quest XI, God of War, Gravity Rush, The Last of Us, and Yakuza 0.
God of War.
God of War.
God of War.
Last of Us.
Get it. No, get in there.
Last of Us.
Get in there.
Dragon Quest XI. I'm off work until February, so time is not an issue. Dragon Quest XI.
Nice, by the way.
If you can come to a consensus, it will give me the authoritative push to get one of these under my belt. If you can't come to a consensus, I'll take that as my sign and play MTV's Pimp My Ride on the Xbox 360.
No.
Been there, but it's God of War.
Last.
I think the consensus overall is God of War, so there you go. That's your consensus.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong with any of those.
You
Yeah.
really can't. It's a good list. It's a good list. Our last question is from Classical. If you could access a Bethesda-style character creator for your own body, what is the first slider you would fiddle with?
Glutes.
Oh, great pick, man. Yeah, it's got to be glutes. Calves.
Did you say ass?
Calves.
Okay. I want to make my arms and legs really long. That's what I want to do.
Neck.
Thank you, Colin.
That already happened to me.
Neck. Neck is a good one. Neck's
Shoulders. Gotta get their shoulders
Broad.
Yeah.
Commanding linebacker shoulders.
You already have that, Brandon.
Oh, thank you, Ben.
You're welcome.
But man, the Bethesda style, oh, there's got to be some joke in there. There's got to be something in there specific.
Is the joke that Fallout 76 is bad?
I was waiting for it.
I mean, they do have sliders for like personality traits too, I guess, right?
Yeah. They do have cat people. If anyone wants to be a cat person.
I don't. I like
Uh,
cats. I like cats a lot.
Yeah.
More than the average person. Don't want to be a cat person.
What about a lizard man?
Yes, I'll be a lizard man. Absolutely. 100%, Brad. Argonian. I'll be a Argonian.
I think the cat people is one of the funniest things about that world to me.
Because they look so stupid.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'll go so far as to say they suck.
Yeah.
This is a good way to end the Q&A, I think.
Argonians, or no, not what are the cat people? They suck.
Support us on Patreon. Cat people suck.
Cat people suck.
Cat people
Pledge
suck.
now. All right. Well, thank you to the allies that joined us today on the Q&A. Thank you so much for your funny, insightful comments. And thank you to the patrons who asked the questions. I'm sorry. I really want to get through everybody. We just didn't do that today. We didn't even get really all that close. So sorry if you asked a question and didn't get answered. Next month, there will be a post on when we're taking questions. So that'll be the first post. And then we'll do another post that will actually take in the questions and actually be the submissions. So yeah, thank you so much to our patrons, and we'll see you guys next month. Peace.